They were the most legendary 10-man crew of World War II, flying a Boeing B-17 bomber, and they managed to complete 25 bombing missions over Germany, something that was nearly impossible at the time. Back then, German fighter planes completely dominated the skies, and American bombers had no fighter escorts during their missions. Every time they went out, they only had a 1 in 3 chance of making it back alive, and the average survival time for a bomber crew was less than. That's why the US military had a special rule. If a crew completed 25 missions over Germany, they could retire and go home. But because the German Air Force was so powerful, that rule was more like an unreachable dream. Until the Memphis Belle came along. This bomber had already flown 24 missions with 0 injuries to the crew, so the military had high hopes for them, hoping they could complete their 25th mission successfully and give the troops a much-needed boost in morale and hope. In July 1943, the Memphis Belle prepared for its final mission. For this operation, the US sent out 360 bombers, targeting a military factory in northern Germany. When the mission commander announced the target, the soldiers were in shock. That factory was guarded by Germany's top fighter planes and surrounded by thousands of anti-aircraft guns. Going there basically meant a suicide mission, but the Memphis Belle crew had no other option. Only by completing this mission could they finally leave the battlefield and return home. So the crew started loading bombs onto the planes, fueled them up, checked the engines, and made sure the machine guns weren't jammed. Once everything was ready, the commander fired a shot into the air. Hundreds of bombers took off one after another, climbing up to 5,000 feet. 2.5 hours later, the bomber formation crossed into German airspace.